So, hi Archie, how are you doing?
Hi there, Susan. I'm all good, thank you. How are you?
Yes, I'm very well, thank you. Enjoying the sunshine. So it's nice to talk to you today. So tell me, what's it been like over the past few weeks? What's your experience been? Where are we now? Week 10. So over the last 10 weeks.
Yeah, so it got a bit of getting used to rattling around in a 72-bedroom hotel on your own. But we've been quite productive. Obviously, got a lot of our admin work done. The phones are still ringing, the emails are still coming in. Obviously, bookings that were due to be in during lockdown, we've had to look at rearranging and postponing. So it's still been quite a relatively busy time for us, really.
So what's your experience been with the events that you had booked? Have you managed to move those to future dates and secure as many as possible?
Yeah, so from our point of view, it was working with people who've got events in, and from our point of view, just being as flexible as possible. So where possible, we've moved their event date or wedding date to a later date this year or a date next year, which has gone down really well. There has been a couple of events, like your birthday celebrations, etc., like your 80th birthdays, where we've unfortunately had to cancel. So again, we've been quite flexible with that, and given people their refunds. So all in all, it's been good. And again, bedroom reservations, we've looked at sort of giving them a voucher, and then they can use that for a later date. Again, either the end of this year or next year. So it's from our point of view, really, it's just being as flexible as possible and keeping that relationship with our customers and making sure that we can still honour their booking, albeit at a later date.
And has that been well received by people? Have they appreciated your flexibility?
Yeah, I mean, it's all about having a conversation with someone. That's not always the outcome that they would want. So it's just working with everyone on an individual basis and just sort of, having a conversation with them. Would it be beneficial for you to move that date later on? Or, should we look at cancelling and giving a refund where appropriate? But yeah, it has been, it's been very positive. And it's just about, like I say, being flexible and working with our customers and making sure, everyone's happy with the final outcome, which has been, which vast majority of the time has been, the outcome, and both of us have been very happy. So it's been a challenge, but it's been overall very successful.
Good, that's really good to hear. So obviously in recent weeks there's been a number of announcements and everybody's starting to get ready to reopen. So is that what your focus is at the moment?
Yeah, most definitely. So as current government guidelines stand at the moment, we're looking at hopefully reopening at the start of July.
Yeah.
We are starting to put social distance measures in place around the hotel. So when guests check in, being a metre away from the check-in desk, and also our event rooms as well, we've had to relook at our different capacities, so we can still accommodate people in our event space, but make sure that they're social distancing at the same time, which is important for wedding civil ceremonies and meetings, etc.
Sure.
So we did that this week, but obviously our meeting room capacity has been decreased quite dramatically from that. 2 meters adds up to quite a large space, really. So things like our boardroom, which can normally accommodate 12 people, can now only accommodate 4 people. Our congress room, which we can accommodate 30 people in, has decreased down to 10 people. But it's from our point of view, when we are back open, we're ready to be back open, and we're ready to be back open safely. And it's important for our customers and our staff and everyone to be working in a safe environment, and that's the most important thing for us when we do reopen.
So I know you've got your large banqueting space. What does social distancing mean for the capacity of that?
So for a civil ceremony in there, that's 40. So it's come down from quite a bit because we can fit up to 200 people in there.
200. Wow. Gosh.
So it's quite a big come down from that. But again, it's sort of from a social banqueting point of view, we're just looking at a bit more clarity and guidelines of, because obviously, you know, our roundtables can fit up to 8 to 10 people. So we'll have to look then at, you know, does that come down to 3 or 4 people per table? But, you know, with government guidelines and saying people can start going around other people's houses and the gardens, albeit social distancing, you know, we're hoping by July time there's a bit more flexibility, and, you know, as each week goes by, the you know, it gets that bit easier. So we're hopefully by the time we open, things will start to be looking a lot more like they did prior to us closing down. So it's, like I say, it's just from our point of view, just working with government guidelines and doing what we can to make sure everyone's safe.
So have you had conversations as yet with any of the bookings that you've got for August onwards, or July, or even onwards, or have you kind of, where are you with events? How far into the future have you kind of cancelled or postponed?
So April, May and June, we've all postponed. Again, from a wedding point of view, a lot of people, although we'll be open, are aware that social distancing measures will be in place. And, you know, it's quite a tough ask of bride and grooms to decrease your numbers from, say, 80 to, you know, if you have that or even more. It's near on an impossible task. So even for weddings, sort of August, September, October, right through to the end of the year, quite a few have been postponed to next year.
Right.
Or we've got a couple currently that are still going ahead with us in August. However, we're provisionally holding a date for them in 2021. So if those strict social distancing measures are still in place, then we will look at moving their date to next year, to the date we're holding for them. So like I say, it's just, you know, we really do want to hold their date as planned, but fully appreciate that if they have to reduce their numbers, it's a very tough ask. So we'll look at holding it next year for them. So like I say, it's just about being flexible and making sure there's a happy ending, no matter what sort of restrictions we're working with.
Sure. And have you had conversations with, in terms of catering, how that might look in the future? Because, you know, there's conversations, isn't there, around whether canapes can be or not be, and buffets, and how would that work, and so forth.
Yeah, so just before lockdown, you know, sort of March onwards, we started operating quite differently. So we stopped doing our buffet breakfast, and we're doing room service breakfast only. So we do, you know, little breakfast sets, so a granola pot, fruit, croissant, tea and coffee, and a juice. And we do that room service. So, you know, for a start, you know, the food isn't being touched by several people. You know, from our point of view, we were keeping our customers apart. Also, from a staff point of view, the staff were safe, and, you know, they weren't coming into contact with people, because we would leave it outside the room, knock on the door, and, you know, so that worked out really well. So we'd probably look at doing something quite similar when we reopen,
Right.
because when we reopen, things like the bar and restaurant, they will be opening straight away. So it'd be a room service type of thing, and then obviously go in from there, really.
So what's the one thing you're looking forward to most about being able to open up again?
Speaking to customers face to face, to be honest, it's, you know, you work in hospitality, you're helping people all the time, and you know, it's lovely speaking to people on email and face, you know, on the telephone, but just that face to face interaction, sitting down with customers, having a coffee, you know, just your general sort of chit chat, really. You know, what you're doing today, where have you travelled from? So yeah, we're really looking forward to just that human interaction again, which I think, you know, in general society as a whole, we're all sort of missing and craving. So it's, yeah, and to be fair, just coming back to normal life again. You know, it's coming to work and not being in an empty hotel for 8 hours at a time.
Yeah, that must be quite strange, being, as you say, in a 72 bedroom hotel with event space as well, and hardly anybody there.
Yeah, I mean, it was quite a surreal experience when we had to close down, because it was like something from a horror movie where you're putting planks of wood up against doors and things like that. It's, it's just, I've been working here nearly 10 years, and it's just, I've never ever known anything like it. So it's, it took a bit of adjusting to, but like I say, we're still getting emails in, and the phone's still ringing constantly. So it's, we're still speaking to people, albeit not seeing them in the physical form.
Well, that's great to hear that you're looking forward to opening the doors again and being able to welcome guests. Well, it's been great to talk to you today, Archie. Thank you so much, and good luck with all the preparations that you're going through, ready for 4th of July.
Yeah, you too, Susan. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Take care. Goodbye.
Bye.